So what happened to the person that struggles with addiction, overdose, something happened, tragic, maybe accident? Does God just relegate them and doom them to hell for their blunder, for their mess up, for their inability to get beyond something that caused them to turn to drugs or whatever? Does God just say hell bound and throw it all in? See, because we don't deal with that. Now, if you want to act a fool, you're going to do it anyway. So I'm not encouraging no bad behavior. I'm not excusing bad behavior. Don't get it twisted here. I'm not making light of dedication and being consistent and all. But what happens to the person who don't have the strength that you have, the ability to somehow get back up and move on with life? And it happens every day. I was early in my ministry. This is back in the 80s. Good friend of mine. School together. He was a few years older than me. So from a good home, smart. Went to work for Dow. Bought a home. Married. Children. Doing great. All of a sudden, because he was a Vietnam veteran too. All of a sudden, big layoff, lost his job. Guy that come from a good home, didn't know about struggle. Lost his job, lost his home, lost his car. Went into a depression. Wife divorced him because of the depression. Left a note. Jumped off the river bridge. Never found his body, left a letter saying he would dispose of himself to spare his parents to grief of having taken a gun and blow his head out. He decided to dispose of his body himself. I'm going to call names. This was my friend in the 80s. I just did a memorial for him in honor of him at the Veteran Cemetery on Florida, where the veteran finally acknowledged that he was affected by the chemicals Agent earned while he was struggling with depression anyway, and so that had to be a contributing cause to why he was struggling with depression. Yes, sir. And ultimately situations prompt him to commit an action. But there was no recourse because he couldn't get beyond what happened to him. But they found out that there were other factors that contributed. So we just say, oh, you take your life, you're going to hell. Because it's so easy for us to just say things. The truth of the matter is it could have been any one of us standing at that bridge, because all of us have been on the breaking points of the place. Let me just talk to you. All of us have been on the verge. All of us have wrestled with stuff. And still wrestling. And so I stood out there on the nobody, of course, and just did a memorial in his honor. His family come together. He acknowledges the family. Finally, committed a memorial in his honor just for 15 minutes. They sent him, they blew the trumpet to honor his life, to acknowledge him. What happens when things like that happen and we can't get back up? Because sometimes some people, they don't bounce back. Lift your hand and say thank you. They don't bounce back. And we get so quick to put them in hell because we question the means by which they struggle. We just say, you're no good because they struggle with an addiction. Is their way of dealing with a pain inside. that they just ultimately can't deal with. You've learned how to become. You've learned to live with your pain. Some of them can't live with it, so they find other means to pacify the hurt. Sometimes just from disappointments in life. I'm glad God ain't like me.
Amen. The Lord.
Thank you.
What about those fallen soldiers? Y'all got family in the struggle right now. Some of y'all struggle. You just learn how to conceal how you live on the verge of life and death. You can't talk to the saints about it because they don't understand it. They so judgmental. Matter of fact, they the one help push you over the edge. You can't tell them nothing. Don't tell nobody. I'm going to tell you this and don't repeat it because that's saying repeat it. Don't say nothing that you don't want nobody to know. We don't respect nobody's confidentiality. People pouring their souls out, they're hurting. You just talking and ripping them in. But you don't understand it. And the truth of the matter is, it ain't much different than your heart and theirs. You just learn how to conceal yours. Everybody got struggles and issues. In this life, you're going to have it. So what happens to that young man, that young woman, who accidentally or deliberately is trapped in life, can't go beyond what happens, can't get back up, can't see their future, can't see beyond what happens, what has happened to them? How does God feel about it? God just put them in the air for their blunder, for their error, for their misstep, for their mindset, for what happened now. Some folk will go to hell, but you might be shocked when you get to heaven and find out they weren't the people you thought.
Come on, Red. Come on, now. Come on.
Once you're looking for a name, ain't on the road. I'll give you a moment to digest that. If I had taught this way, digest what I'm saying. When I hit it, I'm going to hit it quick.